Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with a mess on my desk. You might call it a mixed media mayhem, and that's exactly what I'm embarking on at the moment. I have no idea what this page is going to look like. I have my photos in something of a film strip. I printed them this way. The photos are of the student body and the student section at the stadium last week when Barrett and his teammate Sean were not able to play because they'd been kicked out the game before for unsportsmanlike conduct, but the game film clearly showed that they were not at fault, that it was the guy on the other team who started a fight, and they were not even defending themselves. Barrett was trying to get between the guy who was attacking Sean and get him off. So they carried signs that said "Free Barrett" and "Free Sean," and I thought that was kind of cute. Got a photo of it and filtered it 3 different ways, trying to get the most contrast so you could read what was on the signs. So that's my photo and my story. The Mixed Media Mayhem recipe this week is for texture paste, stamping, and tissue paper. So yay. I've got my medium here, and this is my tissue paper. This is from the Dina Wakley media collage paper, and I think it's from this pack. I had used the little center seams of these stripes, and I've got one of the stripy parts. And then I have this one that's tags. And I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but I thought it was actually finding this piece of tissue that made me think to print the photos like this. So let's say if I did something like this, they say "Free Barrett," and this kind of does that, jailhouse stripes or something. And these tags I thought might look a little like signs, and I thought I might put them this way along this other side, just kind of stack them and overlap them on top of each other. And I'll just cut them out one at a time when I get ready to do that. And the texture paste, here's my idea. And I've got alpha stamps that I thought I'd on one of these, the smaller ones, I would stamp "Free Barrett" and the other one "Free Sean." And so then I also have, in the same place that I had those stamps stored, I have these stamps that are just texture stamps, I would call them, just like random designs. Don't know if I'll use any, don't know if I'll use all. And to contrast with the blues and whites that I'm going to have, I'm going to throw in some really bright yellow sequins. This is Late Summer Thoughts, designed by Sarah Scraps from Spiegelmom Scraps, and I love that yellow. It's John's stop sign yellow kind of color. And I have a brayer to put on my texture paste, but first I want to blend my texture paste. And I have this little tray of miscellaneous embellishments. This one is "Wish You Were Here." I was trying to use it on the last layout I did, but in fact, this is, since they were excluded from the game, "Wish You Were Here" might be an appropriate thing. Okay, so let me pull all of this and put it off to the side. And to the side means I have to pull a chair up because my table space is all used up. Okay, and I see that I have a sticker that has fallen off of another page. Okay, so I have this acrylic or acetate sheet, and I have some Vicki Boutin Creative FX iridescent glaze. I'm just gonna slap a little bit down. And then I have this Brutus Monroe glitter glaze that I thought I might mix in. And then I have this blue pigment powder from Vicki Boutin. And I'm just gonna, well, it's not unsealed. I guess I've never used this color before. I'm gonna mix it in and not mix it terribly fully, so that I end up with some streaks maybe when I brayer it on. Let some of that pigment go in. Okay, so that's a good color there. All right, I'm going to put this aside, and let me put it down here. And I think when I go back to my page, and I'm trying to find space here, when I go back to my page, I think I'm going to put not the photos, but the other stuff. And let me, to determine where the other stuff is going to go, I kind of need to place it where I'm going to place it. So a couple rows up and a couple rows down. And then I want these all kind of in a row. So I'm going to do this one, let's say, like so. And then I may overlap. I really like this grungy one, so I'm gonna put it on next. So I'll do it kind of like that at an oddball angle. And then I'm going to do this one, this really large one. And I'm not being real careful about stuff because I think the idea that I have, and I'm probably going to put this one down maybe a bit more that way, and this one will overlap that way. And I've got this one that can kind of stick out like that. I have this tiny one. how about if I did this one? This one has kind of rounded. I'll do it like that. And then bring this one down. It's just slightly overlapped. Or maybe not overlapped at all. And then I'll overlap this one like so. And I won't care at the moment if they're, you know, straight or not. Okay, so given that I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go ahead and maybe I'm not. I'm gonna put it here. Sorry about this. I should have, I thought I had it kind of prepped. Let me get my paintbrush in and remove the blocking, and then maybe I can get some out. All right, there, I did it. Okay, geez, this is a mess. Okay. And static electricity is working to make this even more complicated. I'm gonna, it's hard to deal with these things. Okay, it's hard to pick them up. Well, actually this goes at an angle and the photo strip goes straight. Okay, so I'm gonna do this on the edges, and if it wants to curl up and wrinkle, that's okay. That's called texture. So I'm okay with that. And I'm kind of, well, that's a little too much wrinkling there. Not what I had in mind. Okay, now I'm just gonna do a little bit of this glue across the way. I'm gonna have a guy right there. And it just blends right into the white background. And pretty soon I'm gonna be brayering on some texture paste, so there's gonna be some interruption of the design anyway. Hopefully I can find all of the tags that I cut out. If I can't, there's a whole bunch of them stuck under here. Go figure. And that's just static electricity holding them on, because this isn't wet or anything. Okay, so now we're gonna go here, and I'm gonna do that. Kind of layer it on this way. And those open spaces in those tags are just perfect receptors for stamping. Okay. I'm doing that on the wrong side. And I can stamp with either the alphas or the texture stamps. Get that right there. And then I can do this one right here. And if I really cared a whole lot about the overlapping, like right here, the white part that overlaps this black part kind of dulls that down. If I really was particular about that, I could have cut them a lot closer, and that would have solved that problem. But you'll see in a minute why that's not an important part of this design. Okay, so I've got those there. I don't think I'll need these two. I will put them aside. I will put the lid on this. And I'm going to store it upside down so that it's a little bit more at the ready. Okay, brayer. Now, here's the fun part. I'm going to brayer the texture paste on kind of splayed out a bit. And the black kind of shows through, and in some cases, some places it doesn't, and that's okay. I'm going to be careful as I do this. It has wet that tissue paper a lot. So I'm just going to leave it at that. That's enough color and background. Let me just see how it looks when I put that there. I think that's going to work out great. Okay, now, just to be kind to my brayer, I'm going to wipe that off. Just run it across the paper towel, and I can wash the rest off later. And I'll do the same to my palette knife and just kind of put this nasty stuff off to the side. The wet stuff, anyway. Okay, now, I'm not sure how to dry that, so I'm going to work with it wet. I'm going to put some liquid adhesive on the back of this foam and then set it down, not upside down, although I suppose I could turn it over and it'd be just fine. Kind of like so. And now I'm going to stamp. I wonder if I can stamp. Let's try some of these texture stamps first. Ah, you know what? Let's try this. I'm going to dip it in the texture paste and then kind of stamp it around. Instead of black, and what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of dipping it in there, and it's going to give me some kind of distressed looking images, if you will. Okay, and I had always envisioned doing this in black, but why not use the texture paste and get a little more, abstract looking image, shall we say? And I'm just kind of stamping it around, and I'm going to have to be very careful to wash these stamps off, and I won't do all of them this way, but I'm kind of having fun doing these. Okay, let me wipe those stamps off, and I'm done stamping with texture paste. I've never done that before, so that was different. And I wish I had a baby wipe handy here. I used to keep them really close, but haven't, I don't see it right now. Okay, so I can scrub that and it'll be fine. Okay, now I want to get some black texture bits around, and as you can see, I'm not paying a whole lot of attention to how clearly the image is going on. It's, whoops, I maybe shouldn't have done that. In some cases, double overstamping. Okay, put that to the side. And now I have some little open circles that I thought might be cute in a few places. And I'm just gonna kind of cover this up while leaving some spots that I know I want to go back and do some words. Okay, now put that here. I have some more circles. And I want it to look grungy, like it was trampled at the football game. And that's kind of what it's looking like. I'm going to do this one all along this side. And then I'll pick it up over on this side. It'll be my frame, I guess. And I'll do the same down here. Okay, so there goes my white sheet of cardstock. Okay, now the rest of it's going to be easy if I can find the letters. I don't have these stamps in alphabetical order. I'm not sure why. So I'm going to start right here. Whoops. It's not stamping well on the wet. And that's okay, because it can be pretty abstract looking. It can look like the signs were trampled because you have trouble reading even the real signs. FR. Okay, and let me see if I can find an E. Where's the E? Please tell me that I have an E in here. I haven't used these in a while, and I kind of store them away from my other supplies. Okay. And I'm going to just, for this one, I'm going to say free B instead of Barrett. And I think I have an exclamation point. I do. Okay. And then I'll do Sean's whole name. Yes, and then I have an E. Where's my E? Here we are. And here's my A. And here's my N. And my exclamation point is here. It's kind of like playing that old game, Concentration, where you have to remember where things are as they're exposed. Okay, now I have embellishments. I'm going to put this under here and do this one right over here. Okay, I've got my and I have some miscellaneous acrylics from various places. I've kept them separate from my Bramble Fox goodies because they're not made by Bramble Fox, and Bramble Fox is pretty much all I use now. I've got, and so I've got these in a kit that I'm kind of trying to kill. I've got some various bees to go around, including this one that can go here, and it can look like it's obscuring the F on free, which really didn't stamp very well. So I'm gonna do another flare kind of right here, and I will coordinate that. I have a bunch of arrows as well as gears, and I've got this little blue gear that can go here with the B, and I've got a gray gear that can go up in this cluster. I have another bee let's see, I'm going to put it actually over the photos right there, and then I'm going to see, I have another gear. Let's see, where do I want to put it? maybe I'll put it right here with that stamp that kind of looks like a gear. And we'll see. And I'll add little bits of color with arrows that are kind of along the tags. And I'll tell you right now, I think this is maybe, I had in mind that it would be messy, but it may be more messy than I intended, and that's okay. The messier it is, the more I think the boys will enjoy it. And that just looks like tennis shoe soles kind of hit things. Hit it. Let me get some foam to go behind this arrow. And I'm going to put it right here. And I will add in this little blue one. And I have no idea where I got these little acrylics. They were before BBF, before Bramble Fox. I have a little tiny star here that I can maybe put up in this cluster. And I have a clear heart that could maybe go right there on this flare. And I'm going to smear it around. That's not true. I'm not going to do that because on a darker background, it's going to show. I'm going to kind of put it out there in the field, and its texture, its depth will show it off. So here is a little gray arrow that I can put. Okay. I'll put it there. I have a pink arrow with hearts. Again, no idea where or when I got that. I think this one's been in my stash for a while. And I'm going to put this one here. And when this dries, I can see it already. The sheen, the sparklies are going to really show. And it'll have a completely different texture than what you're able to see right now. There, and then I'm going to use the outside of it as well. I'm not sure what this is or where it came from. It's kind of like foil, but plastic. And again, I've had it forever. And I'm probably going to put some foam on this one. Oh, this is messy. It's terrible. And I think I'm okay with that, but who knows? I'll see. This is a piece of rubber. Little arrows on it, and it is sticky even on the non-sticky side. Again, what I did was I stored all my arrows together in one little box. And I went looking for an arrow the other day and I thought, I got to use all these things. They're terrible. They've been lying around forever. So I don't know if I want to use these. I have these two that are driftwood type things. I'm going to use those on a seaside page. This is a green leather arrow. I'm going to say that's pink fresh. Let me, again, adding a little bit of unexpected color. And I've got this kind of crystally blue one. And I'm going to put it over the photo. Then I've got this one, which has some truly unexpected colors. And I'm just going to lay it, well, no, I'm not. I'm going to put some foam behind it. And lay it like that over the photo. And then I've got some tiny little arrow pieces, and I'm going to use those. And that emptied my tray with just two things being saved for later. Okay, so let me do these two pink ones here and here. And then I have three black ones. 1, 2, 3. There. I know what that looks like, kind of, is the texture of the pebble grain on the football. So let's just call that intentional, right? I'm not sure where the pin is, which is why I have this pin cushion and some more stainless steel non-rusting pins. And I'm done. It's messy and it's nasty looking, and I love it. So the one thing I could add to it might be some splatters. And I'm gonna try to do that's not the way that works, I guess. I'm gonna look for some blue splatters here. I've got After Midnight by Delusions. I didn't have enough busyness going on here. I had to, it's going to take some splatters, right? And it's okay that that got on the photo. I'm not protecting the photo or the embellishments. Because it isn't like a cute baby photo or and I see a bit that's coming up, that's peeling up. And all I have to do when that happens is just take a little bit of liquid glue and kind of run along there and then just kind of press it down. All right. And it picks up some of the blue ink, and there's a little bit of that going on over there. So I'll wait until it dries and then I'll do that. And I think that wouldn't be, I try to use as little as possible of the medium, which is the glue that holds that tissue paper down. I try to use as little as I can because I want to be working on it while it's still wet, and I want it to be damp rather than wet. If I used more and completely spread it around on the page and then laid the tissue over, that wouldn't be an issue. So I just have to do it differently for the way that I make videos. So there's my my page. I've certainly used stamping, I've used tissue paper, and I've used texture paste. So thank you for watching. Bye.